Yeah. So I have a feeling that Tebogo is unbeatable just as at the moment, and I have a feeling like he can pretty much do whatever he wants right at the moment.
I think he is. The only skepticism I have is the records. Everyone keeps saying that he'll break that record. I think it's a tough one. The records that were set by Usain Bolt, it was hard small. Especially the 200 meters.
I think the problem is the world wants him to say that, but he's not saying it. So the world really wants the world really wants another trashy talker. And I put it in quotes because that's not really what Noah Lyles. He wants another talker. Let me remove the word trashy. Another talker. And they keep baiting him. And he keeps saying, listen, I and he's very funny and he's very cheeky. We've interviewed him with you this year.
Yes.
He's cheeky, he's funny, but he just doesn't want to do that. There was an interview done by Fentuo of Joy FM in Ghana. 5 minutes of brilliance where he talks about everything. He talks about football, he talks about holiday, he talks about running the two. He is really funny, but he doesn't give them what they want. But people are pushing the agenda.
Yeah. Because
we are in an era where the agenda is to break world records in track and field. So they're really pushing him towards it. I agree with you. The records are a bit, especially for me, it's the 100. I think the 100 is the one that's farthest because it's 9.58.
Yeah.
And guys are running 9.7.
9.7.
200 is 1919. The closest they've come to is in Oregon when Mr. What's his name? When Noah Lyles ran 1930. So even that one, there's quite a distance.
Yeah.
But I think just in terms of showmanship, in terms of pure joy of running, in terms of just being
himself,
the guy.
And he's just 21?
He's 21.
Yeah.
21.
Yes.
I think for me, Letsile, what I like about him, because I interacted with him at the Olympics, and he, first of all, he's what you see. Is what you like. What you see is what you. That's Letsile. He's 100% himself. Because you see, you find a certain athletes who have almost different personalities depending on the context. So when they are on the track, they portray themselves in certain way. When they're off track, they portray themselves in certain way. But the problem of that is that with the time, you're able to your true self manifests itself, and more often than not, it's not for good things. So I think for Letsile, bottom line, how he's being managed is very central because he's becoming a global superstar. Even the way he's now getting attention from Western media. Because even remember that photo that we were discussing on Spot on Monday when he was with Duplantis and everyone else, Ingebrigtsen and everyone else. That was a very strong statement that Letsile Tebogo is the new superstar in sprints. And I'm interested in seeing the next season of sprint because they had packaged season 1. The focus was heavily on the Americans and the Britons. So season 2, obviously, things changed because everyone was expecting Noah Lyles to win the 200 meters, the double. But how Letsile has been able to slowly he was been flying under the radar. Yes, in the final for the 100 meters, I think he finished 5th or something, 4th.
Yes.
But the way he's post-Olympics, I remember I told you that some of these Olympians they have a bounce in their step. There's something about Letsile that I think we are here to see what he's able to achieve. He just needs another level of just like focusing completely. He'll come close to the record, but he won't break it. I think for the 200 meters. But your 200 Nivio, like it's done. That's it. For Lyles, unless something happens, you Amanda Ivo. Because you've watched him running, Wakabi. Something about Letsile compared to the rest. He runs effortlessly.
He's very smooth.
He runs effortlessly. Like for him, it's like it's second nature. 80 meters to go. This for yesterday in Rome when he won it. He switched it up.
Yes, literally.
He switched it. It's like something. He pressed a button. It was Amanda. It's the same thing I saw in the 200 meters.
Yeah, it's like
at the Olympics.
It's like I'm here. Now let's turn it up.
Yeah.
And he turns it up on another level. I don't know if it's maybe if they want to target the record, maybe I don't know in 3 years and something like that because he's still young and as older as he gets, he becomes much more refined. But I love the trajectory of his career. There it's going. The endorsements, everything. I love it for him because the last time we had an athlete from Botswana who was on people's minds and people's heads was Nigel Amos. But I felt like for him, he tapered off a bit. I don't know what happened.
He was very...
Yeah.
He was there, then he was gone.
Yeah. So Letsile, it's his moment.
For me, Botswana, as I go to sign, for me, Botswana is Mr. Isaac Makwala. That's my man.
The 400-meter guy.
Oh, yes, it's Makwala and then Amantle Monshaw. Those two are for me. Then Nigel Lemos came up, and then before we could see him, he was out in trouble. Though I think his drag ban is finished, by the way. So who knows, maybe he's on his way back. How different, how much of a pivot has Letsile provided to the sprints?
It's huge. It's huge for an African continent, and I think he spoke about it after winning the Paris Olympics in Lausanne, when he was asked how he felt like with the celebrations that he was welcomed with over 30,000 people in a stadium, and he said that he was happy because he did that for the Botswanan people, but also it's a testament to what Africans can do. And I think the statement that he mentioned there was, even for an African, like everything is possible in sprints. And I think you can see the kind of influence he's having. I have seen the camaraderie that he has even with the Samukonga of Zambia, and they are doing it in these short races. So I think they are going ahead and they are influencing African sprinters to believe that they can actually do it. And we are seeing some of them in the World Under-20s in South Africa. They are doing a pretty good job. So I think the job that he's done is continuing the work that Simbine has done over the years, and even Omanyala to some extent. So it's been a big influence that he's done by just participating and winning in this Olympics and this calendar year.
I think there's no doubting his talent. Maybe the only thing is that he's thrown a cut in amongst the pigeons. Now all of a sudden it was supposed to be Noah Lyles, Fred Curley, Coleman, Kenny Bendarek. It's Kishane Thompson, and all of a sudden and that's why Bernard is saying when Bernard is explaining that the first season of Netflix, it was all about the US and Jamaica. Part of it is because you have to create a rivalry that people can follow. And those are the biggest markets. Yeah. Because the truth of the matter is, in Africa, we don't do a lot of support in terms of supporting things. We are not great. So if you want a story to run, if you want a narrative, it has to have a bit of the Americans and the Brits and the Jamaicans, because it's how we all see it in the world. So, but now they have to rejig it. Because season 1, like you said, Tebogo, Juju, Julian Alfred, all of them missing. So now they have to rejig it and do it. Luckily, Noah Lyles is still in it. From what I have read, he's still a big part of it because, of course, he won the Olympic gold. Yeah. But then now, like this year, they're saying Shakari may not feature as much. So yes, but you're right, they've got to rejig it and see how it goes. So that we finish this thing. Omanyala finished 7th?
Yes.
7th, 10:08. I'm not sure what you guys think of it.
It's fine. It's okay. I think you have an off season sometimes. He finished 2nd. Was it the other week?
Yeah, 2nd in Silesia.
In Silesia, in Poland.
Yeah.
It's fine.
It's fine.
Yeah, look, he's he's been consistent competing, and he's been very intentional about the races he's been participating in. My only concern is championships, major championships. That's where it feels like he's not able to have the same level of consistency and gas, as you'd say. Because remember, you're doing the hits, you're going to the semis, you're doing the final.